Every Ramadan for the last 5 years, we've been hosting something called Sahur Saturday. And this year, because of this whole COVID thing, we're not allowed to have huge events. We're not allowed to have gatherings. So, last month when it was announced after our first COVID case in the country, we were like, okay, guys, it seems like we won't be able to have any of our events anytime soon. So let's see how we can, probably work on getting things virtual. So, putting things together, my team and I discussed it and we were like, okay, maybe it would be a good time to, work with some of these local vendors and try and connect them to the public. And along the way, we came across one of my good friends who've always wanted to, do this delivery business, but never really got the time to validate his idea. And I was like, look, I've got this Sahur thing coming up. Would you like to be a part of it? And you can basically help me to fill in the gap where you can create the access for the customers to go and, get a product from the food businesses. Hi, my name is Fisha and I'm the founder of Big BWN Project. So I've been involved in doing things that involve around youth development, community development, women empowerment, and a bunch of other things over the last 5 years. So, with the recent case of COVID happening around the country, a lot of people are saying that, not only in the country, but around the world in general, how this whole thing has been affecting businesses, be it how big they are to like even the smaller ones. But, being in a place like Brunei where our community is very, very small, I feel that the small businesses here are really, really taking a toll. And they need to be supported as much as possible. And through Big BWN, we were already doing things where we were trying to encourage people to buy local, eat local, spend local. That's why we launched Tempatan last year, and it was already something that we have been emphasizing, especially for our local community to buy from one another, because if you don't buy from another person, then it's not going to be sustainable for them and their businesses will not grow. So every Ramadan for the last 5 years, we've been hosting something called Sahur Saturday. And this year, because of this whole COVID thing, we're not allowed to have huge events. We're not allowed to have gatherings. So, last month when it was announced after our first COVID case in the country, we were like, okay, guys, it seems like we won't be able to have any of our events anytime soon. So let's see how we can, probably work on getting things virtual. So, putting things together, my team and I discussed it and we were like, okay, maybe it would be a good time to, work with some of these local vendors and try and connect them to the public. And along the way, we came across one of my good friends who've always wanted to, do this delivery business, but never really got the time to validate his idea. And I was like, look, I've got this Sahur thing coming up. Would you like to be a part of it? And you can basically help me to fill in the gap where you can create the access for the customers to go and, get a product from the food businesses. And the unique thing about this Sahur event that's going to be happening online is that it's only going to be between 9 p.m. to 2 a.m., where most of these establishments around the country is going to be closed, and like there's not much options for Sahur. So actually, Sahur Saturday was created back then where we wanted to fill in the niche for people to enjoy and have more varieties for Sahur. Like we've always had like this amazing huge options on what to go and what to eat for Sungkai, So why can't we have the same? So, slowly from there, from the first one to where we are now, it has grown tremendously. And yeah, so basically, we only wanted to do it every Saturday night, but a lot of the public response was that, we're all staying at home. We don't have anywhere else to go. Might as well we do it every day. It's not like, we need to get out of our houses. So, putting 2 and 2 together, speaking to our friends at Tapao, who's going to be running the service with us, we were like, would you be able to provide this service for us, between the hours of 9 to 2? And they were like, yeah, okay, sure. So yeah, so now it's Sahur every day. So right now, a lot of the registrations is going through our personal Instagram or our text line. So people are just reaching out to us and letting us know if they want to get involved. But I'm not limiting it only to Sahur, because Tapau also provides the platform for people to be able to sell during Sungkai as well. But of course, there are a certain amount of vendors that are exclusively going to sell during the hours of 9 to 2. Yes, I was in the legal profession earlier of my life, but I saw that I wasn't getting the satisfaction that I wanted. I wasn't impacting as much people as I wanted. I always believe that, whatever that you have is going to be much more better if you can share it with another human being, or if you can be beneficial to another human. And when I was working as legally, I was also doing Big BWN at the sites, and I saw that, it was creating the impact that I wanted to. So by the time I got the opportunity to move on to focus on Big BWN fully, I took the plunge, and it has been the best decision I've made to date. My energy comes from the people around me. It comes from the projects that I've done. It comes from the spirit of the people who have supported me. And at the end of the day, I like the fact that I'm doing something I'm passionate about. So even in the mornings when I'm tired, or even at night when I'm exhausted and going to sleep, it's all worth it, because I know at the end of the day, I'm not only impacting one person's life, but I'm impacting a lot of people's lives. And I know how it's basically just like a chain reaction, it causes a domino effect. I help one person, the person is going to help another person. And that has been the root of Big BWN from day one. We want to create this community and have this sense of community where we can help each other, collaborate. I'm very big on collaboration. I love working with people from all sorts of different areas and sectors, and bringing them all together for any kind of project, basically. So with Ramadan coming up, I would like to remind everyone to practice your social distancing. Don't worry too much about not being able to fulfill your religious obligations, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you are. A lot of people are feeling very bummed out about not being able to do tarawih in the mosque. But at the end of the day, it's more of building your own spiritual relationship with your creator, kind of thing. And also, it's time to build connections with your family. All these many years of being connected to technology has made us very disconnected. So I think it's high time that we use this to our advantage and build on our connections that were already there. And with Raya coming up, for us personally at Big BWN, we've pledged to use our savings for our Raya gathering, our Raya money packets and whatsoever to the COVID relief fund, and also to help out the small businesses in suffering at this point. So I feel that people should maybe focus more on that rather than have unnecessary spendings, or focus on bigger Raya things that every time we do, unnecessary shopping, unnecessary spending, unnecessary wastage of food. Because one of these things that I realized, in the past Ramadans, especially with all these buffets and stuff, people waste so much food, So and maybe this time, people will start to appreciate things more and not take things for granted, for example. So yeah. I'd like to nominate Lisa Ahmad of Kaleidoscope. And I think maybe Shima from Hearty Leaf. She builds terrariums.